Julia. Welcome to Super Talk Show. It's so nice to have you with us, joining us from the United States.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having me, Heidi. I'm super excited.
Yeah, thank you for being here. And to get started, would you like to give an introduction about yourself?
Oh, okay. So, hello, everyone. My name is Julia Powell. I'm from Silicon Valley, California, and I'm a junior.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and for you guys, some backstory. I met Yulia through the Harvard Crimson Summer Journalism Academy in the summer of 2022. So that's why she's here, and I want to have her here share some of her stories because it's super cool. She's working on a super cool online newspaper called Donut Daily News. So I guess Julia, could you give some backstory on like how you created that entire newspaper, which is super popular right now? There's so many followers on Instagram. It's crazy.
Okay, so basically in my old school, I didn't have like a newspaper and my school was more STEM oriented and there wasn't a lot of writing opportunities at the time. So I quite literally cold emailed and cold DM'd like every single possible newspaper around here, and then I even got to other places. And then the Donut Daily News, it's an online cutesy news source where they send you little tidbits of the news in an understandable way. And then they actually responded to like my cold DM. And then I had a meeting with them, and then I got established as a content writer and digital marketing intern. And I've been doing that for almost a year now. My 1 year anniversary is sometime in March. So yeah.
Wow. That's actually super cool. So I guess how do you invest time? It's definitely a time consuming thing to write stuff outside of school and spend some time like just getting down and writing as a content creator. So I guess what are your time management strategies?
Well, normally what you have to do is we'll mainly communicate over Slack. So I keep like my notifications on so I see things like immediately. So for example, sometimes I'll be like making a little section for the daily newsletter and I know the exact time that goes out, and I know like the time differences and when I have to submit that. So I think the main thing is knowing the time differences and then putting on your calendar like the specific times you need to get things done and then when they're going to be published. And then for other things that are more spontaneous, I'll get like a Slack message that says like, "Oh, can you make these product descriptions by like tomorrow?" And that you have to always make sure to ask like what time they need to be done because of the time zone differences. So yeah, I really think the time zone differences and knowing those and then balancing your time is just really important.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. So I guess like based on all the extracurricular you're doing from Donut Daily News to the Summer Journalism Academy, of course it goes to show that like you have a deep interest in journalism. So I guess I want to ask, why journalism for you? Why is it journalism that you like so much?
Well, for me, I love journalism because at this time, like you could write about virtually any type of topic, but then you don't need to like study so much into it. Like, for example, or that's probably said wrong. Like, for example, in A Push, you have to know like every single date. And while the topic can be interesting, it can get a little bit tiring. But then in journalism, sometimes you'll be reporting on, for example, the Dutch farming struggle. You write an article about that, or like love letters, and then it just keeps life interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. And then you also get to learn about different types of cultures, talk to different people, and then sometimes you'll have to wake up at really weird times to talk to people in different time zones. So, it keeps you on your toes and it keeps life interesting and you learn something new, but it's not as high pressure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. So I guess also a follow up to that, since you're so invested in journalism, what's your favorite book? I'm making the assumption that you like reading because, you know, you have to be good at reading. You read plenty of books to be good at journalism. So, yeah, what's your favorite book?
My favorite book is Beneath the Scarlet Sky. It's about this boy during World War II in Italy who was disguised as a spy in the Italian, I forgot the word, like Italian military to that was like overtaken by the Nazis. And then he was also like helping Jews escape from Italy into like Switzerland over the Alps. And I like it because while it did show like a good happy ending because the war ended, it also showed how not everyone has a happy ending because like there were so many deaths that were involved in the book. So I feel like it's also realistic, but then also very hopeful, if that makes sense.
Mm, yeah, definitely. Um, right. I think I should definitely read that book. It sounds interesting because we're actually learning about the Holocaust in history class right now for me. So, yeah. Um, I think I'm running out of questions. Um, let me think. Do you want to elaborate on like anything you're doing outside of school as well that I'm missing? Because I just know about the donut news. The
Oh, okay. Perfect. Okay, so okay, I can talk about one of my ongoing projects, I guess.
Ooh.
So on the LA Times High School Insider, I recently did some red carpet reporting at Walt Disney Studios, which was super dope. And then, yeah, we got to meet and talk to a bunch of super cool celebrities at the from the Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur world premiere. And then, yeah, right now we're editing the content, and we also got to see the movie premiere and then before like it came out. And then we actually got to go to this little after party, and then we got like a backpack full of merch, which was like so cool for me because I've never been to like big events like that where there are famous people. And then, okay, one thing I learned from that though is definitely have a LinkedIn account. Like, I
Mm.
got bullied for it in school, but then literally I met someone and then she does like marketing for like Walt Disney. And then she like asked me for my LinkedIn when we were talking. And like, that just felt so cool for me. But yeah, I think that's another piece of helpful advice.
Wow. Wait, so you got to like interview like face to face celebrities.
Yeah. The article should be out sometime soon because we're basically done with it. But yeah, that was so cool for me. It was so fun to dress up and then meet and talk to people. And yeah.
That's so crazy. So, can you give us some tip on like how to do a good interview? Like what should your posture be, you know, like what device are you using? Um, how to not get nervous in front of a cool celebrity.
Oh, well, we use this little phone with this like okay, I'm not good with tech names, but it was
Oh,
like a
like
fancy.
fluffy.
Yeah, like the little microphone piece that you plug into your phone. And then we had like the interview questions on like a piece of paper, and then somebody else filmed it, and then you would just hold it up. And just in general for journalism, I think it's good that you tell the celebrity where to look because sometimes they will look like right at the interviewer or right at the person taking the video. And then also when you're taking the video, it's hard to not look at the person, but you have to look at them through the video. So like you'd
Oh,
make sure that you don't get like a finger there or like chop off their head during certain parts. And then also I think it's just having a good sense of humor and then just really trying to connect with that person because they all have different personalities. So some people you'll be making jokes with, and then others it will be more like serious. And then yeah. Oh yeah, but for me, I got to interview Yvette Nicole Brown from who was Helen on Drake and Josh, and like I was like trying so hard not to fangirl like right there. So yeah, that was probably my thing.
Wow. I'm so glad you had that experience. It sounds really cool. Um, so I guess to end off the interview, like I asked this question to every guest that comes to Super Talk Show. Like, what's one tip or advice that you have for our super audience? Be it about like journalism or another advice about how to interview celebrities. What's your final quote for us?
I feel like my final quote would be make your own opportunities, and you never know until you ask, because a lot of stuff that's happened to me in my high school career, I never expected it. It was nothing close to my envision of high school. But then they were like positive surprises by cold emailing and messaging everyone, whether that be LinkedIn, email, Instagram. So yeah, you never know until you ask.
Mm. Wow, thank you so much, Yulia, for coming to Super Talk Show and giving us all these amazing insights into, the Donut Daily News and also your journalism with Los Angeles Times. So thank you so much.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.